Happy Sunday, everybody. Meteorologist Hunter Forrest here with your tropical update. We are heading towards the end of October, and as we get into November, it is the last month of the hurricane season. I know we've all been looking forward to it, but still have 5 weeks left to continue monitoring the tropics. And again, there's something out there now that the National Hurricane Center is saying that we should watch over the next week or so. There's a 40% chance of development. But before I get to that, I just wanted to point out the intertropical convergence zone here in parts of South America over into the Pacific Ocean as well. So you have the trade winds from the northern hemisphere, the trade winds from the southern hemisphere. They collide, they converge, and when you have convergence, you have rising air. And when you have all of that rising air, you get all of this thunderstorm activity that really wraps around the entire world. So just a fairly cool phenomenon. And some of this activity can lead to tropical development. So as we look over towards Central America, parts of South America, you can see all of this thunderstorm activity. And we can see some of this meandering off into the southern areas of the Caribbean Sea, which is where the National Hurricane Center is saying we should watch over the next week or so. So this area in orange, there's a 40% chance that a tropical depression could form as we get towards Halloween or the first day or second day of November. Now, the GFS model has really been hinting that something will develop around Halloween, but the European model has kind of not been on board with development. But the GFS this entire season really has been pretty good at picking up on early development. But here we go towards the end of next weekend. So on November 3rd, you could see the GFS really has a fairly hefty storm moving actually towards the north and the east. So from areas just off Panama over towards Hispaniola, just over towards Dominican Republic. And the European model really has a really weak system, maybe trying to get its act together towards the end of next week. And then as we go in towards Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, you could really see the GFS model having this become a fairly hefty storm. But again, this is still well over a week away. And when you have one model saying something's going to happen and another model saying it's not going to happen, you really don't have the best idea on where it's actually going to develop or how strong it's going to be. But you just have to follow the trends. And over the last couple of days, the GFS model has had the same trend of something developing over in the South Caribbean and heading off towards the north and the east, while the European model really has been slow on any development. But again, like I was saying earlier, the GFS has been pretty good this season on picking up on early development. So as we go throughout the next couple of days, just important to keep track on what's going on in the tropics. Hopefully, fingers crossed, something doesn't form. But again, looking at the trends, it's looking more and more likely that something will form as we get towards the end of October into early November. As we take a look, though, at the hurricane season, the peak was back September 10th. So well over a month and a half ago. It goes all the way towards November 30th. So here we are towards the end of October, and you can see the activity really starts to dive as we get towards the 1st of November and in towards the end of November. So again, we have 5 weeks left here of the hurricane season. It's always important to stay updated on what's going on in the tropics. And of course, here on 13 News Now, we'll continue to keep you updated through the rest of hurricane season.